Do you know what a common law marriage is?
A what?
A common law marriage. Do you know what a common law marriage is?
No. Well, the California Code is registered domestic partners shall have the same rights, private and beneficial, and shall be subject to the same common law or any other provisions for sources of law as are granted to and imposed upon spouses. Well, in other words, isn't it the substitute that the law is giving instead of marriage?
It's the rights that people get when they've lived together for a long period of time.
The ones that gays are being denied, right?
Yes. What is a punitive marriage?
What is a what?
A punitive marriage.
A punitive marriage? Yes. Punitive means small, right?
Not in this case.
Oh, no.
A punitive marriage is between people who have lived during a long period of time. But unlike a common law marriage, if one person is known to have a pre-existing marriage, then their rights are invalidated. Like, they can't take medical decisions for the other person or anything of that sort. Define unusual.
Define what?
Unusual.
In society, and now in the parts of the world that it's changing, unusual might be seen separate from man and woman union. Man and man and...
Okay, thank you. You answered my question. So, do you think interracial marriage is unusual? Do you think interracial marriage is unusual?
I do not believe interracial marriage is unusual because it is not redefining the concept of marriage. A black man or a white man marrying a black woman or a white woman has no change on marriage.
Isn't it true that evil...
Pero the mic better.
Thomas Jefferson wrote in the Declaration of Independence that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Marriage can be seen as a pursuit of happiness, and gay people are being discriminated. In Plessy versus Ferguson, the Supreme Court ruled that African and white students receive equal education, but in separate institutions. Brown versus Board of Education overruled this by saying that by the institutions being separate makes it inherently illegal. Civil and unions and marriages receive the same rights. They are the same thing except for the terminology. So according to the Brown versus Board of Education, it's not equal because they are separate. Equality is the foundation of this great country, but not allowing gay people to marry, they are being discriminated. The California Constitution states that all people have inalienable rights such as pursuing and obtaining safety. Gay people in the same-sex relationships do not necessarily have this right because they cannot receive legally binding contracts such as marriage licenses. In long-term relationships, things such as property, expenses, and decisions become joint. This is taken for granted by heterosexual partners. In the event of a medical emergency, those in homosexual relationships do not have the authority to take action on behalf of their partner, if the partner is incapacitated. Allowing gay marriage comes with many benefits. Marriage promotes family values, such as promiscuity and happiness. By allowing gay people to marry, there will be more child adoptions, making more families, making the next generation well-rounded. Promiscuity is frowned upon in marriages, which will lower STD, making gay marriages illegal. And legal will be a step forward to homosexual acceptance, making homosexuals more comfortable with themselves and happier. This will lower the extremely high suicide depression of all lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender young adults.
What's the difference or the similarities between interracial marriages and same-sex marriages?
Interracial marriage is when it has two different races, and same-sex marriage is between a guy and a guy and a girl and a girl.
Okay, but there are two alike people against two people who are of different sex and who could procreate. And then also, what was the other one? Is adding the same-sex marriage, is having same-sex marriages the only way to change the benefits to extend them to those partners?
Can you repeat your question?
That is changing the definition of marriage the only way that we can extend the benefits to those domestic partners? Or can we do something else?
The thing that we want is the right to be married.
The right to be married. But you argued about benefits. You said that people who are same-sex couples cannot have the benefits that, like, for example, work gives them.
We do want the benefits, but we want equality.
Well, you are getting the benefit. Does inequality come from giving to those others people? We're giving benefits to everybody, which would make it equal in turn.
Benefits are not sometimes recognized, such as at hospitals.
Okay, if the state of California were to grant one group of people the rights that they demand, just because they claim it is unjust, society will then find it exceedingly awkward to deny similar rights to other groups. For example, this could lead to legalized polygamy and legalized incest, which in no matter that we look at it, will always be immoral to society. It has been shown that countries that have approved same-sex marriages have been greatly affected. Countries like the Netherlands, Canada, and Spain have approved same-sex marriages. According to Joshua Livestrow, since the approval of same-sex marriages, the Netherlands has seen a decline in all marriages, and the birth rate out of wedlock have skyrocketed. This shows that to the Netherlands, marriages have been demoralized, and that's why people choose not to marry anymore. Homosexual activists fought ardently for the approval of same-sex marriages, and yet many didn't actually take this advantage and marry. There was a proportional decline every quarter after the approval of the Netherlands. The year 2001 reported 2,500 new gay marriages, and by 2004, marriages decreased to less than 1,500. Statistics show that Proposition 22 passed in 2000 with a 61% approval. Proposition 22 stated that only marriage between a man and a woman is valid and recognized in the state of California. Gay and lesbians are fighting for the right to get married, just like heterosexual couples. One of the most important things to this group is that they want the same rights as heterosexual couples get. But since the year 2003, former Governor Gray Davis signed in a law, which the Domestic Partners' Right and Responsibilities Act. This act took effect in January 2005 and permits gay and lesbian couples many of the rights that heterosexual have, but it does not give them right to marry. According to Kathy Belge, homosexual couples who wish to have access to these benefits have to simply register as domestic partners. As domestic partners, they are able to have custody of a partner's child, access to family court, the right to make funeral changes, and access to married housing. Many gay and lesbians have encountered major problems when one partner becomes sick and dies. Many have not been able to visit their partner when in the hospital. or make funeral arrangements. In the case of death, many of those people who have had to face the grief of losing a loved one, but also their home and life savings that they have built together. Domestic partnerships prevent problems like these from happening. All that homosexual couples have to do is go ahead and register. California does have this option, and we don't need to change the definition of marriage when they are fighting for the same benefits as heterosexual couples. We already have the same benefits. All they're fighting for is the redefining of marriage, which has always been instituted from the beginning of time. Also, it is proven that homosexuals have a shortened lifespan over time. It is proven that in countries like the Netherlands, who have had more homosexual acceptance, their lifespan for the homosexuals has decreased by almost 20 years in comparison to those who are not homosexuals. In addition to this, those who are married homosexual couples have even a less chance of having